Surprise to none of us, Trump is right off the rip attacking trans people, DEI efforts, those who are immigrants, undocumented, and basically anyone that is super vulnerable. And before you ask any of the people in your life who might fall under that identity category, what are you going to do? I need you to ask yourself, what are you going to do? Right? This is not a time to look at the people who are being attacked and be like, oh my God, what are you going to do? But what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to protect yourself? You need to ask you, the person who is not under attack right now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do for trans people? What am I going to do to protect DEI efforts? What am I going to do to protect undocumented folks and immigrants? What are you going to do to protect reproductive health care? Like, if you are not under attack, I need you to ask yourself, what am I doing? Because it's up to you. Trans people have enough to figure out. We are trying to figure out like what bathroom to use and if it's safe and where and all kinds of shit. We're trying to figure out if someone's safe or not on like a very personal day-to-day level. So we're gonna need you to step up, step forward, and do something on behalf of us, because we are busy fighting for our lives on a daily basis and fighting for our safety and just like making it home at night, okay? So this is about you as much as it is about us. Now, before I get ahead of myself, we don't know what this is going to look like. We know executive orders are different from like, Congress-based laws. We know that like already lawsuits are being filed. This is not going to be immediate, like, oh my God, okay, everything's different now and we're never going back. The thing that probably is going to happen first and most swiftly and violently is attacking the most vulnerable of these people, especially trans folks who are in like federal state prisons, those who are basically like in custody of the government. Now they will have to be separated by sex and sex only, like not gender, and pretty much based on chromosomes at birth. This means, unfortunately, what we are very likely to see is probably starting with trans women in prisons being moved to male prisons. That is going to be absolutely terrifying, incredibly dangerous, and unnecessary. This is also going to affect people who have an X as their gender marker, especially on federal documents like a passport. We're not really sure what exactly that's going to look like at this point, but it might make it harder for you should you leave the country to come back in. That is something that should be of concern for you should you have an X, and really make sure that what you are doing and the choices that you're making using that federal document are very intentional and probably few and far between. Lastly, I will say this: despite whatever Trump says, despite whatever he signs into law with his pen, whatever, I am still here. I am not a man. I am not a woman. I am non-binary. I exist. Nothing about my identity or the validity of my identity has changed in the past 24 hours. Nothing. I am still here. I am still queer. I am still going to be me, no matter what this person says and no matter what the pen writes. You can't just erase me. I am permanent marker, and you should know better.